The Carolina Panthers might have just made the biggest mistake in NFL history. And here's why. Bryce Young has been, struggling to say it nicely. And CJ Stroud has been a stud. End of story, right? Not exactly.
There's different philosophies in ownership. Some owners stay away and don't engage a whole lot. Other owners do. His philosophy is he's going to engage. It's only been a short experience. It's been a really good experience. It hasn't been fun.
This is the face of a man with a serious problem at hand. Listen to that quote again.
There's different philosophies in ownership. Some owners stay away and don't engage a whole lot. Other owners do. His philosophy is he's going to engage. It's only been a short experience. It's been a really good experience. It hasn't been fun.
Trouble in paradise this early? And let's just say you weren't convinced by this quote and needed some more to paint that picture. Listen to this quote from Frank Reich talking about his boss, David Tepper. He wants it now. He pushes me and he pushes us to that end. He wants to do whatever it takes, turn over every stone, as he must produce winning football. So I appreciate those conversations. They're always very challenging. He's a super competitive person. He's not just going to sit by idly. This is the definition of issues at hand. When an owner is this involved in the day-to-day play, things really can't end well. And ultimately, I think Frank Reich is a good coach in my mind. Really has a pretty good sample size overall, but hasn't been able to prove it as a head coach. But the reason why I said trouble in paradise, like I mentioned before, there were some reports floating around right around the draft when the Carolina Panthers acquired the #1 overall pick, stating that the head coach, Frank Reich, wanted CJ Stroud, and the owner of the Panthers, David Tepper, wanted Bryce Young. And I quote, David Tepper heavily influenced Panthers' selection of Bryce Young. Trust me when I say, this is almost always a recipe for disaster when the owner sticks his nose into these type of things. Coming into the season, Adam Thielen said this.
But at the end of the day, again, I wanted to go to a good situation for my family, for myself, and ultimately that I felt like a place seriously had a chance at winning a Super Bowl. And again, I really do feel strongly with that.
And basically the general consensus was that the Panthers had a pretty good team and the Texans did not. The Carolina Panthers had a 6.5 over-under win total, and the Texans had a 5.5 over-under win total. While I understand the Panthers are probably in an easier division and the Texans are most likely in a harder one, as I make this video today, the Carolina Panthers are 0-6 and the Texans are 3-3 with a lot of good stuff happening in their losses. There is no question that it's very early in both the young QB's careers, and it's also very early in the season as well. And most importantly, tons can change. I'm not saying it can't, but it's currently constituted. CJ Stroud just seems to have it, and Bryce Young is much more of a project than anticipated. When you draft the #1 overall pick, that player should be an immediate difference maker the day he comes into the franchise. Outside of CJ Stroud lighting the world on fire with his incredible stats, breaking rookie records, and leading a historically bad team to somewhat relevance, things have just seemed easier for him. Whether it's the ownership or the coaching staff giving him everything he needs, the Texans flat out have a new identity with CJ Stroud. And like I said, it's early. I want to reiterate this. Things can change. But when you see this type of greatness early in someone's career, it's usually proof of what is about to come. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but the kid has something that not every other quarterback has. It's that it factor that the analytics people don't judge. Not everyone has the ability to be a superstar potential quarterback. And honestly, this video is not even a shot at Bryce Young. It's much more about ownership getting involved and sticking their nose into things like I mentioned earlier, about things they have no idea about, like football. Just because you are a massively successful business person does not mean you have the experience to be making franchise-altering decisions. But at the end of the day, it is his team and he will do as he pleases. That's it, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, obviously, and most importantly, please share it to a friend or a family member, because the odds are if you like it, they will as well. And until the next video, talk to you guys soon.